Can you both hear me okay? Okay, perfect. All right. So let's begin. Close the eyes and bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything that we need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine becoming one with all beings everywhere. Om. 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 May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice to our senses. May we always have a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. To make this practice even more meaningful, even more powerful, make this an offering to all beings everywhere. Renounce all the fruits. Do the practice as though your divine obligation to all beings everywhere. Let's do the mantra for purification. If you don't know it, you can just pretend you're singing it through the voice of the Guru, and you derive all the benefits as though you were chanting it perfectly. If you do know it, chant it with volume and with conviction, so it can be heard by all the subtle bodies within and all around us. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Tantrikaksham Sabhaya Pihantraha Sachi. So now let's begin the practice. So, everyone can still hear me okay? All right. So we're going to start off with some warm-ups. We're going to take the wheel and then we'll just do a few warm-ups just to warm up the different areas of the body. Okay, so we can just come to seated position, any position you like, cross-legged or sitting on your heels, whatever. We're going to warm up the head first, the neck. So take the wheel into your right arm and push it right against the side of the neck. So just try to conform the body to the shape of the wheel. And then just tip over to the left, push the wheel into the side ahead, and just allow the left arm to slide out. Just let the weight of the wheel to just give you a little bit more release. You can start to slide your left hand further out away from the body as well. Anchor down to the right side. See, try to avoid allowing it to come up off the ground. And coming back up. Roll the wheel all the way out if you can to the wrist. If it's too much, if it's too heavy, you can just sit it closer to your shoulder. But if you can try to straighten your arms by bringing it right out to the wrist. And from here, just hold it there and then twist to the right. Try to get your open all the way to the right. And then come back to the front. Go to the other side. Twist to the left. Shoulders away from the ears. And coming back to the center. Good. Now from here, bring the wheel up over the head and onto the other shoulder. So push down into the shoulder. Again, try to push it right against the neck so that the body conforms to the shape of the wheel, and tip over to your right. And then you can just keep on lifting up a little bit more and sliding out to the right without, again, lifting the left side of the seat from the ground. Breathe into the stretches. You want to try to imagine the wheel is part of the body, just an extension of the body. And then start to slide your way back up. Then again, roll the wheel all the way out to the wrist if you can. And then bring it level with the arms level with the shoulders. Twist to your left. Open up completely to the left. And come back all the way to the front and right over to the other side. Press the shoulders back, keep the chest open. Come back to the center and release. So now bring your wheel right in front of the chest and push the hands into the sides of the wheel. So spread your fingers here. And then here you want to try to push the wheel down, but at the same time you lift your elbows up, but try not to lift the wrists away from the wheel. So keep the hands in contact with the wheel and you'll feel the stretch on the backs of your wrists. You push it down, shoulders down, until you feel that nice stretch, the nice stretch in the inside of the wrist and tension in the compression in the top part of the wrist, the back of the wrist. And from here, push your heels, your palms into the wheel, lift it up and bring it back and just circle out your wrists a little bit. And then the other way. And now from here, we're going to work the other way. So bring the backs of the hands onto the wheel. So your palms are facing outwards. And you bring your wrists so they're about midway up the wheel. And lift the wheel up again towards the chin and drop the elbows down this time. So now you feel the compression on the inside of the wrist and the stretch on the backs of your wrists. Try to keep your fingernails even glued to the wheel. So breathe into all those areas where you're feeling tension, feeling discomfort. Don't go to a place of pain, of course, but just try to get that nice stretch. And then lower the wheel back down. Again, release your wrists, shake out the wrists, or circle your wrists around any which way you like. Okay, so now we're going to take the wheel behind our back. Okay, stand on your knees. Give a little height and bring your wheel so you're holding the wheel, the edge of the wheel again like this. Okay, and then now from here, you pull the wheel up as far as you can, by the height of the shoulder. Exhale, bring the wheel back down. Inhale, lift the chest, bring the head back, bring the wheel up. Exhale, press it back down, tuck the chin in. Inhale, open up, push the heels, your palms into the wheel, lift the wheel up as high as you can. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, bring it up. Hold it a little bit longer this time. Stretch the arms back, push your chest forward. Exhale, bring the wheel back down. Good. Bring the wheel in front now. And from here, push the wheel into the breastbone here. Inhale, actually still stand on the knees. Inhale, push the chest into the wheel. Bring the elbows back, bring the head back. The shoulder blades come together instead of the back. Exhale, round your back, push the wheel right into your chest. Round your back while the hands slide in front of the wheel. One over the top of the other. Inhale again. Push the wheel forward. Use your chest to push the wheel out. Exhale, push it right back in. Towards the belly, round your back so the shoulder blades open to one another. Inhale, the wheel, the shoulder blades come right together to the spine. Keep the chest open. Exhale, close it up. Keep the chest wide, however, press the front of the shoulders, pressing back, and one more time. Inhale, push the chest forward into the wheel. Exhale, push it right back in. And feel as though you're giving the wheel a very big hug. And then come back. Good. Now from here, we're going to wheel the separate your knees into baby pose, big toes together. And here we're just going to wheel the wheel forward. As far as you can, keep the seats back and allow the forehead to come down to ground. Your hands are coming on top of the wheel and you're feeling a stretch from the base of the spine all the way up to the fingertips. Work the shoulders a little bit. Try to get your chest down, your head below the arms. Tuck your chin in. So keep pushing the hips back. Keep pushing the wheel forward. If you have more flexibility, try to get yourself flat as possible. And then tuck your chin in and start to roll the wheel back towards you. Okay, and so now do a few exercises for twisting here. You come into, if you like, cross-legged position. If you have a lotus, you can do a lotus. The right foot comes on top if you're doing a lotus. Not necessary, it's just if you want to, okay? If you have the lotus, you can do it. And if you have the lotus, you can reach around with the right arm and take your hand to the foot. You need to use your left hand to guide the hand to the foot. And from here, you place the wheel beside your right hip. Left hand on the wheel, and then push the wheel away from you, but further back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, keep pushing the wheel further back. Turn to the right. Keep using your hand to keep pushing the wheel away as you twist further and further. If you have the bind, keep pulling on the foot as well. Just trying to get your foot behind you. Push the lower back into your arm. So you feel a nice stretch. And you try to feel this, you should feel a twist from the base of the hips all the way up. And then we're going to roll back. Come back to the center and just roll the wheel all the way to the other side of you against the left hip, and change your lotus around if you have a lotus, or change your legs around. If you had the right foot in front, cross-legged or on top, you do the other leg on top. So now the left leg is on top or in front, and then you can take your bind again if you want. If you don't have a bind, it's okay. You can take over your shirt. You can just take your hand on the side, and then your right hand comes on the wheel. Inhale, sit up tall, push the lower back into the left arm that's behind you, and then start to wheel the wheel. Push the wheel further behind you, straight back. Keep your body, your shoulders over your hips. And with each exhale, pull on the foot. So again, you're trying to pull the foot all the way behind you. And keep pushing the wheel further back as well. Both sides of the seat grounded. Beautiful. Now we're going to come back. Do a little back and front. Okay, so now we're going to open up the legs. Actually, we're going to fold the, lean to your left and bring the right foot back behind you. So if it's too uncomfortable for your knees to have your leg folded back, you can always keep it in front. Okay, so do it according to your abilities, your flexibility. If you can't get your leg behind you, the big toe is right in the center of the seat. So from here, we're going to take your wheel and bring your foot on the inside of the wheel. Reach across with your right hand. So the right hand is holding onto the edge of the wheel. Your left hand is just behind the center of the seat. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, turn to your left again. And then coming back. So now you're going to place the wheel on its short edge, and the heel is inside the wheel. So your toes are pointing up like this, okay, towards the top end of the wheel. And from here, you're reaching inside the wheel. So you're sliding your left arm through the wheel. The left shoulder against the inside of the leg. The right arm goes over the head. And depending on your flexibility, you might be able to take your hand, drape it right over the edge of the wheel, and you can join your hands together on the outside of the wheel. You push the base of the toe into to the left palm. You try to turn a little bit more. So keep trying to push the back of the left shoulder into the inside the knee and rotate your chest up. If you can't get your hands to join together, it's, again, no problem. Just do what you can. You can stay like this, but try to extend the left side of the body. Try not to make any wrinkles in the waist. Now from here, coming back up, you're going to turn to the left, depending on your flexibility. You can either push your foot against the front of the wheel and hold the foot like this, and just bring the body down onto your thigh. If you're more flexible, you might be able to bring your heel on top of the wheel. And again, you can hold the foot or hold the far end of the wheel. Bring your belly onto your thigh and keep reaching the chest forward. Imagine trying to get your chest beyond the knee. So according to your flexibility. Try to get the center of the chest to keep moving forward. Keep the tension at the base of the spine. And then when you come back, so now heron pose. So you're going to bring the knee closer so your legs are your thighs together. Your foot is beside your hip. Crown Tasana, heron pose. I'll do it sideways so you can see better. So lots of levels here as well. So you can push the wheel right against the back of the thigh, hold the edge of the wheel, and just hold, bring the foot up like so. So this is one option. If that's very easy for you, you can take the foot inside the wheel and hold the inside edge of the wheel, and you can just keep pulling your foot closer and closer. This is another option, using it like a strap, okay? So the wheel's just against the shin, and I'm just holding the wheel like this. Good. Now this is still very easy for you. Next level, you would bring your arms inside of the wheel. Lift the edge of the wheel up, and then you can bring your head inside. Of course, this depends on the size of the body as well. You might get your head right inside the wheel, so you're in the left edge of the head is pressing against the inside of the shin, and you can bring your leg right up against the body in this one. So again, do according to your flexibility. Beautiful, nice. That's it. Good, everybody. Good. All right. So now break the pose, and then we're going to do the other side. So now we're going to just lean to the right, fold the left foot back behind you, the big toe again at the base of the spine, just between the sit bones, or if that's too much, again, your foot in front. You're going to start off with pushing the foot inside of the wheel on the far end of the wheel, taking hold of the wheel with your left hand, bring the right hand right down the center of the back. A little twist again, inhale, lift to the chest. Exhale, turn to the right. As you turn to the right, we push the foot into the wheel and pull on the wheel. Try to keep your body upright. And then coming back now. And then flip the wheel so that it's on the edge. Place your heel inside of the wheel. Okay, so now here we're going to slide along the inside of the leg. So your right arm just kind of slides along the inside of the leg. You can reach your hand all the way through the wheel. Depending on your flexibility, you bring your left arm over your head. You might be able to join your hands together, just on the outside edge of the, hanging over the wheel. And you push the base of the right big toe into the hand as well, the palm. And you turn. You keep pushing with the back of the shoulder inside the knee. You bring the left arm back, you turn your face and your chest up. You rotate your chest upwards. Good. Try not to make any folds in the underside of the body, the right side. Lengthen. Now break the pose, coming back up. Now Kramchasana. You're bringing a thigh right together now. And then you bring your foot onto either, you press the foot on the front end of the wheel and you pull your body down with your leg while holding onto the foot and the wheel at the same time, like this. Or you bring the wheel on top. Actually, you might like the knees are still open. This one, sorry about that. I forgot. So you bring your heel maybe on top of the wheel and can either hold your foot or you can hold the far end of the wheel to get more of an extension, depending on your flexibility. Be mindful in your practice. Remember, all beings are experiencing through your body, so you don't want to go to a place of pain, anxiety, or suffering. This is not what you want to transmit. Good. Imagine trying to get your chest beyond the knee. Now you're coming back. So now from here, Kramchasana. Bring your thighs together so your left knee comes in, and you can start again by pushing the wheel right against the back of the thigh and raise your leg up. Keep tall and straight. Push the belly into your thigh and bring the foot up. Just warming up the muscles gradually. Don't shock the muscles. You find this is not doing much. You take your foot inside the wheel and you pull the wheel right towards your body. You might be able to even rest your chin on the inside the wheel. Bring your chest up. Imagine trying to get your chest higher than the knee. Bring the shoulders back. Try not to hunch forward. And if it's still easy for you, you can lift the edge of the wheel. Just push up with the forearms. And then see if you can bring your head inside the wheel alongside the leg. So you're in the right side of the head is pushing against the inside of the left side of the shin. And your leg is pretty much straight up, right against the belly and the chest. And then release. Okay, so now work pigeon pose and lizard a little bit. Okay, so we're going to take your left foot forward, the right leg goes back. So you can start off, I'll do the face you can see first. So you move your foot out towards the edge of the mat. First, you start with your forearms on the ground, your hands are just right beside the wheel, and you rest your chin on the wheel. You bring the right foot all the way back, trying to sink your hip all the way down. Your knee is close to the shoulder, make sure it's not popping out to the side like this. Press your knee towards the shoulder. Push your chest forward. And then you can take your hands and start to wheel your wheel forward. Place your hands on top of the wheel and try to get your head down. Maybe try to get your belly and your chest to come down as close as possible to the ground as you can. You push the wheel out further, the more you lengthen, the more the body approaches the ground. Keep sliding the right toes back. When your hips are anchored down, the rest of the body will follow. 5, 6. From here, come back up. Wheel look towards you. So now we're going to bring the left shin on top of the wheel. So move it in so that your foot is in front of your chest. Bring your arms in front of the left leg. And then you just push the right foot back, inch it back. And you keep pushing the wheel forward with your, depending on flexibility, you keep pushing your wheel forward with your shin, but you're stopping it by pressing the backs of your arms into the just against the knee and the foot. Okay, so your belly might come against the wheel, and then you just keep on sliding your right toes back as you push the wheel forward. So then by the hips stay down a little bit more as each pass. Now from here, you can do a nice arm balance from here, flying crow. So then you hook your foot on the outside of the left arm, close to the shoulder. You come forward just until you can lift. Your shin is resting on your wheel and you raise your right leg up. Your elbows over the wrists. So you hook your foot on the edge of the, there you go. You hook your foot on the edge of the, on the arm. You bring your back leg in a little bit so you give a little bit of space, and you push your arms against the backs of your arms into the knee and the ankle, and you come forward. You roll forward until you can get your right leg up. That's it, beautiful. Preparation for crow, flying crow. Good. Come forward a little bit more. Your belly is pretty much almost on, your belly can be on the wheel. And then release. Try it on the other side now. Starting off with lizard. Your right foot moves out to the edge of the mat. You're starting off with your left leg back and your forearms on the ground. Your elbows are just in line with the back of the wheel, and your hands are sort of in your wrists are in front of the wheel, and you just kind of rest your chin on the wheel. You allow your hips to sink all the way down. Your right knee close to the right shoulder. Extending. You push your wheel forward a little bit with your chin. So you feel a nice stretch, so you're not compressing the lower back. You just keep on bringing your chest forward. And then from here, if this is pretty easy for you, you're not getting much out of it, you can start to bring your wheel forward, rest your hands on the top of the wheel, and see if you can get your forehead down to the ground. Keep pushing the wheel forward. And maybe the pelvis comes down, then maybe even the chest hovering just above the ground, maybe even on the ground, depending. Think through the hips. Get the pose. And now from here, your pigeon. Take your right shin across the top of the wheel. And then place your arms in front of the leg, the shin. And from here, you just push. You keep your arms like the arms are there to prevent the leg from going too far forward and falling out of the pose. But you just keep on sliding the left foot back, trying to sink down to your hips. So your hips are coming down behind the wheel. And you just keep pushing the wheel forward with your shin. Let's see, feel a nice stretch here. Your leg is right close to the collarbone, right underneath your armpits. And then from here, at any point, you come into the flying crow. So you can bend the toes under and scoot your left knee in. And then place yourself so that you come forward. You push up your toes, you come forward, so your belly's on the wheel, your elbows over your wrists, and you come forward, your head's coming close to the ground, and your left leg comes up. Make sure you're hooking your toes on the outside of the arm, just close to the shoulder. So come forward, that's it. There you go. Your arms come right in front of the leg. That's the idea. Good. And then break the pose, coming back out. Okay, so now, so now we're going to come back to compass pose. Just opening up the hips and everything, the hamstrings. So you can bring keep your left leg, bring your left, actually we're going to do the right leg first. So lean to your left, bring the right leg back. And from here, we're going to bring the wheel underneath your thigh again, stretch the leg out. I just have to turn myself so you can see me a little bit better. So you bring your leg underneath your thigh, and from here, compass pose. So you can reach your hand in front of the wheel, and then if you can, you reach across the front of the foot, take hold the outer edge of the foot, and then you turn your chest upwards. Good. This is the lead in into Visvamikasana. So from here, you want to come up, push into your hands, lift the knee, the hip off the seat up off the heel. You can move your knee back a little bit. So your leg is your foot's behind you, and from here you move your wheel out so that your heel is on the top of the wheel. Okay, so from here you reach up, keep the inside, keep the arm pressing against the inside of the knee, the right arm up. So different levels here. You can stop here. If this is easy for you, you would then bring your toes back out and launch your leg and lift the knee up off the ground. So you can do this version here. And keep pushing your wheel forward with your thigh or heel, depending where your foot is. If you want, you can even reach for the toes. Visvamikasana. If you want, you can keep pushing your wheel out, so your hips will sink down a little bit. So again, be careful depending on your flexibility. Good, nice, everybody. Break the pose, turn forward. So from here, we're going to face forward, Hanumanasana. So you just start to, again, so this, if you can, you keep your heel on the wheel, and you come forward and you just pulse, just like Dharma does. You try to get your feet forward, your hands beside your hips so that your shoulders are over your hips. If this is too much, you can just modify. You can place the foot in front of the wheel from the foot, and can work it from here. So you bend the toes under the back foot, and you just can slide your hips back a little bit by bit. Okay, so just control the descent. If you're very flexible, you can go to the full split. Your foot is on top of the wheel, and you come all the way down. So you keep pushing the wheel out, and your hips will eventually come down all the way. Depending on your abilities, again, if you know variations, you can take the right foot up. If you want variation, you bring your elbow up to the side, and you bring your elbow up, and you bring the foot right on top of that. Your hips have to be down for this. Okay, so make sure your seat is all the way down. So be careful with your shoulder for that one. So all these are just different expressions of poses. Good. Shoulders back over your, there you go, that's it. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. Now break the pose. So from here, just a balance pose here. So you were here, like maybe you can place your foot on the top of the wheel. And from here, you roll back, sit on your heel. Okay, try to get your foot right on top of the wheel. And see if you can balance. Bring your hands up off the ground. The thumbs into the chest. Now, if you want even more of a challenge, you lean back a little bit, press your thighs together, hold your breath, and see if you can float your heel up off the wheel. So this is a little bit more difficult. So you try to float your heel up off the wheel. Like that. Good. Nice. You can keep your fingertips on the ground if it's too much. Nice. Good, everybody. All right, come down. Remember, no attachments to results, no expectations. Just do your best. I think that's most important. So let's go on the other side now. So we're starting back in compass pose. So your left leg folds back. Your leg goes, your wheel goes underneath your thigh here, or against the thigh. And then you start with your right hand, just you pressing your arm against the wheel. And you can take, if you can, your hand across the front of the foot to pull the outer edge of the foot. Come into compass pose. Turn your chest up. Try not to hunch down. So sometimes this happens in the compass pose. Your back hunches. You just try to push the shoulder into the inside of the leg and open your chest upwards. Beautiful. And from here, you press into your hands, you lift your seat up off the heel, you bring your knee back a little bit, so your knees are in line with like the front edge of the wheel, and you wheel the wheel out a little bit, underneath the heel. Okay, so here you can do it from this pose here, you can keep your toes, bend the toes under, and you can keep your left knee on the ground, you can do Viswamitrasana, this modified version. If you feel comfortable to do so, bring your left foot back in line, just in the same line as the rest of the leg, and you can do the full version. Your arms pressing on the inside, your elbows pressing against the inside of the knee. Your left arm can come straight up, or if you can, you reach for the foot. You take hold of the top of the toes, and then you come and keep on pushing the wheel out. Again, do it mindfully, don't go, no fast, jerky movements. Know your limitations. Good. Take the pose, bring left hand down into your Hanumanasana. So again, you'll have your options of placing your foot on top of the wheel. And then you have flexibility, you would just be able to move forward. Push with the heel and then scoot your left foot back. You want to try to get your seat right on the ground. If this is too much, again, you place your foot in front of the wheel, and depending on condition your hamstrings, you can hold your foot in the wheel at the same time. You can slide your left foot back, and just keep leaning your weight into the front leg. Okay, so be mindful of your limitations. Don't go fast. Don't bounce too aggressively. Or you don't even have to use a wheel if you don't want. You can just try your splits if it's too much. If you have advanced variations, you can go ahead. If you're very right down on the ground with your seat, whoops, that works. So you're right down on your seat, you can take your leg up, your left knee up. Bend at the knee and try to take your foot up. Hold your shoulder. Keep your right hand on the ground. Pull the elbow up and right around. And your chest forward. Good. Now, break the pose. Come into the balance pose now. So wheel the wheel back towards you. Sit on your heel, the right foot on the wheel. And try to keep your balance. Squeeze your thighs together. So you can get your hands up off the ground. And if you want, you can even try to lift the heel up off the wheel. So you have to lean back a little bit, squeeze your thighs together, flex your foot, and then see if you can take you have to really squeeze your thighs together, and then see if you can get your heel up off the wheel. Concentrate and stay in this. Really pull your toes back. Get the shoulders back. That's it. Hold your breath. Yeah, beautiful. Good. Body's here. And then come back down. Okay, so now we've done hamstrings quite a bit, so we're just going to move into other areas of the body. So working on the belly first, just to help with core stability. You're going to come with your wheel underneath your body, resting your belly on the wheel, and just roll back a few times, a little bit, right down to the body. So come all the way forward, just into the top, just until the wheel comes just close to the knees. Come all the way back. Right back to your chest. Your seat comes down, your chin on the wheel. Use your hands and your feet to propel yourself forward. Okay, and then one more time. Slide all the way back until your seat is down. Sort of like you're doing child pose. Your chin is on the wheel, your seat is back. And now wheel all the way forward again. So now stop when your wheel is sort of in between the bottom of the rib basket and the bottom of the edge of the wheel is just around mid-thigh. So from here, bring your fingertips down, press into your fingertips, and push your legs up. Engage your buttocks. Good. If you want, you can try to bend your knees, try to get your toes towards the head. Press the toes, one foot into the other. Lift your chest, try to get your toes close to your head. The King Cobra. And then release. Bring your legs down, rest for a moment. Pull your seat back onto your heels. Just rest your chin on the wheel. Just allow your body to just fall above the wheel. Just relax. So now we're going to wheel back out. Just trying to balance this time. So your wheel is somewhere between the bottom of your basket and the bottom of your just the mid-thigh. You take your fingers out, lift your legs up. And you want to sink your belly into wheel. Imagine the edges of your body, your belly are hugging the wheel. And you just try to take your fingers up off the ground eventually. Okay, so you're bouncing on wheels like partner yoga. You're bouncing on someone's feet. Okay, so you lift your legs, engage your buttocks. Take out steps. Bring your hands a little bit in front of you. You might have to like kind of experiment a little bit to just find exactly where that balance point is. It's somewhere between here and here. The wheel is somewhere around this area, okay? Good. Engage your legs, that's it, Georgia. Good, Emily. That's a Kyung. Good. Hold your breath, yeah. Might take a little while to get this one. It's okay. Sometimes it's just challenge trying to find that balance point. All right. So now from here, you're just going to take your hands to the wheel and you just slide your legs back. Push the wheel against your belly and then uncoil like a cobra. Take your head all the way back. Push the wheel against the belly. Your chest is above the wheel. Take your head all the way back. Try to push the chest up so that you don't compress the lower back too much. Try not to make a big fold across the lower back. Now from here, keep pressing the hands into the front of the wheel. Open up your legs. Bend your knees. Bring your toes up. With your hand pushing into the wheel and your wheel pushing into your belly, you might be able to get your feet closer to the head. If you still can't do it, you can even come right against the wall or something. You bring your shins against the wall and you try to get, you have to keep on pushing the wheel in. So you have to lift up a little bit, push the wheel as far as it is possible. You have to lift your hips up a little bit to wedge the wheel in, press your hands into the wheel and see if you can get your head back. Push into the wheel. Separate your knees enough. There you go. Beautiful. Good. That's it. Push against the wheel actively. Nice. And then break the pose. Come again back into child's pose. Bring your feet on the wheel. Bring your wheel against your belly and just rest. Bring yourself over the wheel. Okay, so now this is the same type of pose except in another orientation. It's called Shanavasana, lotus pose, locust pose. So you're just going to come forward. The wheel's underneath your belly. You bring your chin down on the ground, your shoulders down on the ground. And then you lift your feet a little bit. You have to lift, bring your feet in a little bit more so you get your belly right to get your wheel right against the belly. And then you push your hands into the wheel. You bring the legs up. The more you get your hands behind the wheel, against the back edge of the wheel, the more you get your legs up. Eventually you can drop your feet down right onto your head. Push one foot into the other. You get your feet closer. You have to keep wedging your wheel in closer. And so, and then your flexibility. And that's it. You just have your legs up. You don't have to bend your legs down. There you go. Good. Press one foot into the other foot, like so the bottom of the foot presses into the top of the other foot. Bring your knees a little bit close together. That's it. Good. Right? Nice, Georgia. Good. Nice. Good, Emily. All right, break the pose. Come back out. And roll all the way back. Child's pose. Open up the shoulders and the thighs a little bit. So we're going to come to the top of the mat. Bring the wheel behind the back. And just take a moment here, just press a little right against the back. Start off with supported fish. Just bring your back onto the wheel, your head rests on the wheel, and then you can bring your arms up over the head. Try again, try to assume the shape of the wheel. the back of the body, as much of the back of the body as the contact with the wheel as possible. So it pushes the back part. You're coming back up. From here, you're going to take your hands right underneath your ears. Open up your fingers and then lean back. You can take the edge of the wheel here. Okay, so you take the edge of the wheel, and from here you bring your feet in, and from here you can just roll back and come back down. You can do this a few times here. Just keep the backs and shoulders pressing into the wheel. Try to keep as much of the lower back in the seat, the sacrum pressing against the wheel as well as you roll back, making the elbows come all the way down, and you come all the way back down with your seat. So do this about 3 to 5 times, nice and slow. And when you feel ready to hold the pose, eventually, when you roll back, you can land your elbows, your forearms on the ground. The back of the head pressing into the wheel, and your legs are extended. The toes on the ground, roll the sides towards one another. Press down to your toes. The low bridge. Nice, beautiful. Now from here, you bring the feet closer so the heels are underneath the knees. Keep holding onto the wheel, but push the wheel a little bit. Keep your edge of your hands pressing down, and you lift your back up off the wheel, so it's like you're doing a chakrasana, sort of. Your elbows are still on the ground. Push your chest forward. Your seat is up. Your back is up off the wheel entirely. And keep your legs extended. And if you feel here, you can walk your feet out again. Push into insides your feet. Roll the sides towards another. A little bit deeper back bend. Your chest is all the way forward. That is it. You walk your feet back underneath your knees. Hold on to the wheel and slowly lower your body down onto the wheel again. And then from here, you come back out. Roll back out. Here, open up the sides a little bit. Bring your left shin against the wheel. You can come up here. So your thighs are in the same line here. Your right leg is just right shin on the ground just beside the wheel. And then your left shin, of course, is on the wheel, against the wheel. So from here, bring your left hands down onto the ground. And here you can see you can come down slowly. Maybe your back can come all the way down. So be careful so you don't fall off go toppling off the wheel. You have to kind of make sure the wheel is behind you. That your shoulders will come onto the wheel, and will come onto the wheel. To hold the wheel in place, sort of, with keep your arms close to the body. And then you try it on the other side. Your right shin goes onto the wheel. Against the wheel, your toes on top of the wheel, your left shin on the ground beside the wheel. Just make sure that the heels against the feet here. And from here, you lower yourself down slowly. Fingers to the ground. You might need to move your knee out, your right knee out a little bit. Give yourself some space to come down. Back up. So now you're ready for Aputasana. You start with your wheel just between your feet here. And from here, you can sit yourself on the wheel. You sit your feet on the wheel. You bring your hands down. And then you lower yourself down. You sweep your arms out in front. You take hold of the edges of the mat to help you come down. Okay, so then you come down, and then you just try to use your body or use your hands to push the wheel further in towards your knees. And you can stay with your hands in front, grabbing the edges of the mat, and see if you can keep working your hands down towards the feet along the edge of the mat, and bring the top of the head down. And from here, if you like, you can bring your hands down as though you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana beside your head, and you start to creep your fingers back so that you towards your feet, so that your elbows eventually come down. Eventually, you might go to find your toes, and maybe your elbows will come down. If your elbows don't come down all the way, you might need to move your you might need to work your shoulders a little bit more. But if you push your wheel a little bit further in towards the knees, you might go to your elbows down a little bit more easily. That's the idea. Now, if you place your hands again, like elbows, if you bring your hands just underneath your ears, spread your fingers, you can take hold of the edge of the wheel, and eventually you can just kind of move your hands towards your toes as well. And maybe eventually you can hold on to the heels. Just keep inching yourself in. As you get more open, you'll be able to move your hands further back. Good, nice. There you go. Good. Keep walking. Your hands along the edge of the wheel. Good stuff. Now, break the pose, come out slowly. You can interlace your fingers on the back of the head and bring your body up. Nice. Okay. So, back is pretty open, the thighs are pretty open. Let's try pigeon. King pigeon, Raja Kapotasana. Okay, so we're going to there's some nice variations with this one. So you're going to take your pigeon with your left leg in front first. Okay, make sure your thigh is roughly on the same line as the hip here. Okay, so then you're going to take the wheel, bend the leg up. Bring the foot on the inside of the wheel. Depending on your flexibility, start with your wheel, your foot inside the wheel, your elbow close to your right close to your body. You hold the bottom edge of so that the heel of the palm is facing up, and your wheel is resting in your fingers. And you just bring your elbow up. So no strain. Okay, so you bring your elbow close to your edge of the wheel sitting on your shoulder. You lift your left elbow right up, and then you can bring your left hand up. Eventually, you can maybe move your hands to the top of the wheel like this. Keep your elbows close to the head. And let's have your elbows out to the side. Good. All right. Break the pose. So another one here. This one is a little bit, sometimes a little bit, might have to, it's not always, it takes a little bit of work sometimes to get the wheel in the right place, but you bring the wheel just onto your, like against your back here. Actually, sometimes it's easier. So you have to find your own tricks for this one. Sometimes I'll show a couple of approaches. You bring the wheel up over your head and then bend your elbows and just push it into the back and then just bring your leg up so that the wheel just ends up dropping down. Okay, so it ends up dropping down right against your back and you're hugging the leg in place with your wheel in place with your leg. And you bring one hand to the wheel and you try to reach for the foot. Or sometimes it's easier to take the foot from the outside of your flexible shoulders, hold the wheel in place. I think this one's a little bit, so you have to lean back a little bit. You have to reach over your head. Let's see if you can find the foot. And then you can hold the wheel, the body is basically forming a container for the wheel. So this is an interesting variation here. Okay, so again, it takes a little bit of maneuvering to try to find the wheel to bring it to the right place so it doesn't fall out. But it's kind of a cool little variation here. That's it. Good. That's it. So drop the wheel right down onto your thigh, the back of your thigh. There you go. Okay. And then you have to sort of, move your head onto the wheel and see if, hopefully your foot is still there. And then there you go. That's it. Beautiful. Good. Nice. And you just push the wheel into your head and you push with the foot against the wheel so that you feel the wheel pressing into the back of the heart. And it's a nice, nice feeling there. Good. All right. Break the pose. So try it on the other side. Sometimes it feels completely different. Sometimes I find with one side, I can do it with one way. The other side, I have to do another way. So just try and keep experimenting. Okay, so let's try the right leg in front now. And then we start off with the overhead pigeon. So you bring your foot inside the wheel, your elbow right against the ribs, and then hold the wheel so that it's sitting in your fingers just against the palm, and then lift the elbow right up, straight up, no strain on the shoulders. Be careful of your joints, and then you bring your right hand up to meet the wheel, and then you push the wheel up. If you want, you can take hold of the other, the top edge of the wheel. Try to get lots of extension here. With this one, I like to push the foot away to get a little bit of opening. It's more like a circle here. Okay, so this is the chest opener and the shoulder opener. So you bring your arms behind the head. It's really kapyasana. And break the pose. Let the foot go, and then bring the back in front. Okay, so then get ready for the, before you go to the next pose, you can just release your back if you need to at any point. Okay, so you can just stretch forward. Relax here. And then you can try that other variation with the wheel, trying to find its way, like holding the wheel inside the body. So you can bring the wheel up over your head and just drop it down and just kind of push the wheel down the back. Bring your left leg up and allow it to sit inside of your leg. Walk your hands down, down the wheel, Maybe your foot will find, your hands will find the foot. Get your wheel to sit, come all the way, pretty far down your leg, close to the knee. And eventually you'll end up on the top of the wheel. And if you pull on the foot, you might get your hands and your toes to connect. The wheel, there's no limits to what you can do. Use your imagination to find different poses. So there's lots of different things you can do. Again, let's release it back. Bring your wheel forward. And just rest. Or like an elongated pigeon. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, we'll try a little bit of flow, sun salutations, okay, with the wheel. So lots of different motions you can do, lots of different things, ways you can incorporate the wheel in your flow to make a beautiful type of divine dance of devotion. So let's come to the front of the wheel, the front of the mat. Hold the wheel in front of the heart. Offer the practice as always. So we're going to push the wheel down, raise the wheel up over the head. Keep your hips forward, arch back as you fit. Be careful here, the weight's heavy, the wheel's heavy. So go far as back as you feel comfortable. Come back up. And from here, bring your wheel down to the ground and push it back behind your feet. And then push your the hands against the wheel against the legs and push your body against the legs. Uttanasana. Lift your seat. And from here, you're going to place your hands down. Use the left foot to flip the foot back, the wheel back, and land both feet on the wheel. Come into plank. Right. Now from here, lower down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Feet still on the wheel here. Exhale. Roll over your toes. Come into downward facing dog. Put your feet on the wheel. So a little bit of a core, a little workout here. Okay, so your feet are on the wheel. Downward facing dog. Your feet are on the wheel. Now from here, bring your feet up off the wheel. Keep it in place where it is, and then just allow your belly onto your wheel. So now from here, slide your feet all the way back, sliding right into cobra, what we did before. Press your hands into the wheel and allow your heart to come up, your head to go back. Now from here, tuck your chin in, take your hands on the edges of the wheel, bend your toes under, make your way into downward facing dog. Lift your seat, allow your head to drop below the arms. Look like a dog stretching its back here, hands on the wheel. Now from here, bring the right foot forward on the outside of the wheel. Lower down the knee, drop down to the seat, Kapiyasana. Bring your arms up over the head. Arch back, pull the wheel all the way back, trying to get your wheel over your foot. So you might be able to get your wheel all the way to the ground, behind the foot. Come all the way back. Bring your wheel right down the side of your right foot again. And from here, step your left foot in to meet the right. Again, bring the wheel behind your feet. Push your wheel against the legs. Uttanasana again. Your belly pressing into your thighs. your forehead pressing against the shins, your legs are both pretty straight. Now from here, open up your legs, take the wheel out from behind, bring the wheel up over the head. Arch back, engage your buttocks, hips forward, and bring the wheel back behind you. Hasta Uttanasana. And come back. Bring the wheels on the heart. Now, if you landed somewhere in the middle of the mat, you can take a step again to the front of the mat. Okay, and now push the wheel down, send the wheel up over the head. Arch the back. I like to hold my breath when I go back. Just control the movements. Engage the buttocks. Engage the upper back. Come back. Upright. Hinge at the hips. Bring the wheel down on the ground and push the wheel behind your feet. Again, Uttanasana. Push your body into your legs. The forehead coming towards the shin. Your feet coming up. Now from here, looking forward, bring your hands down in front of your foot. Use your right foot to flip the wheel back, roll it back, and land the right foot on the wheel, and then the left foot into your plank. Lower down in Chaturanga. Your chest coming down, press back up, and here, engage your core. Roll the wheel forward, and then you're going to roll over your toes, so your heels, your dog bottoms, your feet end up on the wheel into like a downward facing dog. Your feet are on the wheel. Good. And then from here, bring your feet back down on either side of the wheel and take them all the way back. Land your belly on the wheel again. Glide all the way back. Drag your feet back, coming back into Cobra. Push your hands into the front of the wheel and then coil like a cobra. Good. Take your chin in. Bring your hands, hold the edge of the wheel, bend the toes under, and then lift your knees and your seat up, downward facing dog. Allow the heart to come down below the arms, the feet to come up, and the back to soften, your heart towards the ground. Now from here, look towards the wheel, bring the left foot forward on the outside of the wheel, lower the back knee down, flatten out the toes, Kapiyasana again. Raise your arms up, over the head, keep your hips forward, seat your seat low, Kapiyasana. Bring the wheel with you. And bring the wheel back up. Land in the same place, right beside your left foot on the inside. And then push into your wheel with your hands. Bring the right foot into meet the left. Push the wheel behind your legs, between your legs, and again, Uttanasana. Press your hands into the far end of the wheel. Bring your body right against your thighs. Then from here, separate your feet, your legs. Take the wheel out from behind and over the head. Arch back from the arms all the way back behind the ears. Hold your breath. And come back. Hands in front of the heart. Good. Again. Walk to the front of the mat. Push your wheel down. Bring the wheel all the way up over the head. Arch back here. And then come forward. Uttanasana. Bring your wheel down. Wheel the wheel behind your legs. And this time, take hold of the wheel with your hands. Bend your knees and just roll your wheel up the back of the legs, right onto your seat. And then push your feet all the way up to straighten your legs. Bring your arms up over your back and all the way up. Depending on your flexibility, you might be able to get your wheel over your shoulders. Some of you might be able to get your wheel all the way to the ground in front of your butt, your head. Good. No limitations. Now from here, come all the way back here. Bring your wheel back down, just behind your heels. Step the right foot back. Now lower your seat on the wheel. Inhale. Right into sort of like a lunge warrior. Bring your arms up. Now from here, take your hands down. The left hand to the outside of the left foot. Take your hands to the right, your wheel in your right hand, and bring the wheel all the way up. Sort of like a side angle. Now, if you like, you can bend your wrists, allow the wheel to sit on the inside of the wrist, and pull the arm over your head, Paschimottanasana. The wheel's just hanging off the inside of the wrist. And then bring the wheel back down underneath the left leg. So from here, a twist. Come upright, you're sitting on the wheel. The right arm comes up and take the arm to the outside of the leg. You have the wheel in your hand, and you can push your wheel. You have to slide it a little bit under. And from here, you can slide it behind, bring left arm behind the back, and you hold the wheel with both hands. Okay, you twist. Your wheel is just sort of hanging off your hands on the inside of the leg. Take the left shoulder all the way back. And from here, release the pose. Bring the wheel back in front of you. From here, come into high plank. Now move your feet back a little bit. Place your left hand firmly on the wheel. Turn to the right into Vasisthasana. Push your hips up. Back. Push your right hand in behind the left. Anchor the hand down. The hand is a little bit from the shoulder. Go to your left. Vasisthasana. Keep your ankles crossed. Good. Now come back with your hands on the wheel. From here, lower down your hips onto the wheel. Good. From here, slide your legs back. Once more into your cobra. Take the head back. Those of you who watch, you can bring your feet up to the head. King Cobra. Bring the feet back down. All the movements flowing one into the other. Press your hands into the edge of the wheel. Bend the toes under. Lift back up into downward facing dog. Now from here, see if you can raise your right leg up. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold firmly onto the wheel with your hands so you don't lose your balance. Then from here, look forward. Send the foot down on the outside of the wheel. Lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. Kapyasana again. Bring the arms up over the head. Option here to do the regular Kapyasana, or bring your wheel, bend your elbows, bring your wheel down, and see if you can touch. Bring your leg up so that you can get your wheel right inside your body again. You don't have to hold on to this leg. Hold on to the wheel here. And then bring the left leg back down. Bring the wheel back up. Right beside the right foot. And then again, push into your wheel. Send your left foot in beside your other one. Bring your wheel behind your feet again. Lift the wheel up. Bend your knees. Roll the wheel all the way up. The backs of the legs onto your seat. Extend the arms over your head. Maybe go deep. Uttanasana. Bring your arms over your head, maybe in front of your head as well. The wheel comes all the way to the ground, some of you maybe. Then from here, bring your arms back down. Bring the wheel back down on the ground behind your feet so that you can reach in between. Take the wheel out from behind and come all the way up. Arch the back. Hasta Uttanasana. Hold your breath as you go back. Come back. Anamasana. Heart, the wheel from the heart. Step forward if you need to line up on the mat. Push the wheel down. Go all the way back again. Use the breath to control the movement so they're always controlled and fluid and graceful. Come all the way back up. Hinge at the hips, bring the wheel down to the ground and push it back in between your legs behind your feet. Bend your knees. And then from here, roll the wheel again up the backs of the legs. Straighten your legs at the same time. Push the wheel all the way back behind the body. And start to lift the arms, Uttanasana, deeper version now. So you can get your arms over your shoulders, maybe in front of your head. Good. Now from here, bring the wheel back down. Come into pike, your chest and your head lift a little bit. Bring your wheel down, just so behind your feet, and step your left foot back. You're sitting on the wheel again. Lunge warrior. Raise your arms up. Be strong and steady like a warrior. Always, always ready to do service. Reach the arms up. And then from here, break the pose. Bring your right hand on the outside with the right foot. Turn your left foot flat. Parsvakonasana. Use the left hand to bring the wheel up over your head. Good. And you can keep it there straight up, or you can bend your wrist and bring your arm over your head. Allow the wheel to hang off the inside the wrist. Good. Switch. And from here, bring the wheel back down underneath the right thigh. Lift the back heel, Padivita Parsvakonasana. Left arm up, go to the outside of the leg. And then take your hands, hold the wheel, edge of the wheel. You need to push your wheel a little bit further back and to the inside of the leg. The right arm goes over the back, and you can hold the same edge of the wheel if you can. And push the arms, the left arm against the outside of the right leg, and twist to your right, stick your right shoulder back. You need to separate your hands a little bit more depending on the flexibility. Do according to your condition. And from here, break the pose. Oops. Bring your hands onto the wheel. Step back into plank position. So now again, Vastisthasana. Bring your hips back a little bit. This time, your right hand goes first on the wheel. So push your heel palm into the hands in front. Turn to your left. Come into your Vastisthasana. Raise your arms up. Good. Go to the other side now. Come back to the center. Push the right hand right in behind the left wrist, the right wrist. Left hand comes to place. Push the heel palm. Grip the wheel with your fingers. Baby finger and the thumb on the edges of the wheel. Turn to the right. Vastisthasana. Now come back with control. Grab the edges of the wheel with both hands, each hand, and then from here. Come forward, land your belly onto the top of the wheel, and slide your hands to the front. Slide back into your cobra again. Drag your legs back. Take your head back. And again, if you like, you can bring your feet up just to touch the back of the head with your toes. Don't worry if you don't get there. Just keep moving, as Dharmaji says. Bring the legs down, bend the toes under, and then again, come up into downward facing dog. Lift your knees and your seat up. Downward facing dog. Allow the heart to melt. Now hold on to the wheel firmly. Bring the left leg all the way up. Ekapada Adho-Mukha. Step the left foot forward on the outside of the wheel. Lower the knee down, flatten up the toes, Kapyasana again. Raise your arms up. And feel free to stay in this variation. Or if you want, bend your elbows, bring the wheel down behind your head, and just kind of keep working your hands down the wheel so you can wedge the wheel right inside your body, just against the knee. And bring your right foot up to cushion it, to hold the wheel in place with your body and your leg. Your wheel's now sitting behind your back, and the legs will be in place. Now from here, break the pose, bring the right foot back down, bring the wheel back in front. On the inside of the left foot, push into your wheel and send the right foot in to meet the right. Bring the wheel in behind your feet. Once again, Uttanasana. Roll the wheel up the back of the body. Push your feet all the way up. And then maybe arms come all the way over your head. Maybe the shin comes towards your forehead, comes to your shins. Uttanasana, a gesture of humbleness. That's all the fruits. And then from here, bend your knees, lift your head a little bit, bring the wheel back down behind your feet. And then take the wheel up from behind, all the way up over the head. Arch back. Hasta Uttanasana. Those of you who are flexible, hold your breath. You might be able to get the wheel all the way to the ground behind your feet. Be careful. Do it very slow with mindfulness. Come all the way back up. And bring the hands back to the heart. Take a deep breath in from the heart up to the crown. Hold the breath, allow all the blood to go circulating into all beings everywhere. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine love to go. Now balance poses. Ardha Chandrasana. Moving into dancer. So we're going to start off with on the left foot first. So the wheel is in the left hand. Step your left foot forward and place the wheel on the ground at least 14, a foot and a half or so, 14 to 16 inches. Your left hand is on the wheel, and then you bring the right leg up and the right arm up. Good. Try to press down to move your hand so it doesn't move. Good. Now from here, bring the right hand down, turn towards the floor. You bring the left hand on the ground now, the fingertips on the ground. Bend your knee. Actually, do this one first. So bring the right arm up with the wheel. Now from here, bend your right knee. Take your foot on the inside of the wheel. Okay, press the base of the toes into the wheel. And then push the wheel all the way up. Open up the hip. That's the idea. The knee is pointing straight up. Now from here, look forward. Turn your gaze forward. Hold your breath. And see if you can take your left hand to the wheel as well. Holding the same edge of the wheel as your other hand. Just keep your balance. Your hip is over the foot. And then push the foot up and back again, standing low pose. From here, press into your left foot, come upright into dancer. Left arm can come in front again. And then come back up. Good. So always just watch yourself going to the pose. Picture your body moving smoothly into the postures, and perhaps this will translate to movements. Your movements will come with more grace. On the other side now. So your right foot comes forward, your right hand and the wheel come down. Give yourself distance so that you can get full extension of the body and your hip can open up more. Left arm comes up, left leg comes up. Now from here, bring the left hand down to the ground. Stay on your fingertips. The right hand fingertips come down. And then bring your left arm up with the wheel. Ardha Chandrasana. Here you bend your knee. Bring the big toes press the toes inside inside of the wheel and push the wheel up and away. Nice and slow. Tricky part is to just try to find this without losing your balance when you're trying to push the bring the foot into the wheel. Okay, so now your left hip is rolling down a little bit, looking forward. Hold your breath. Try to have your hip right over the heel. And then see if you can take your right hand up the edge of the wheel as well, same edge as the other hand. And push the foot up and back, the left foot, straighten up your left right leg. Push into your right foot, come all the way up into dancer. Right arm can come forward again, and push the foot all the way up and back. Beautiful, everyone, nice. Beautiful lines. Amazing. Good. And then release. All right. Next one. Do ballet pose. Standing on the left foot. So a few options. You take your left foot, your right foot inside the wheel, and then you hold it like this. Let's start like this. Okay, so you bring your right foot into the wheel, left arm comes up. That's the idea. Now from here, you take your left hand to the wheel and you bring your right hand inside of the wheel. Lift it up. Okay, so you can do this variation here. And you can take your left hand inside of the wheel. And slip it, your head right inside the wheel. So the bottom of the head is resting inside the wheel. Bow and arrow, you can take your left hand to the wheel and then your right arm out. And reach across on hold the wheel and the foot at the same time. Good. Good. That one's a tricky one, trying to find a balance and trying to stay in balance. That's good though. Nice. Try it on the other side. Okay, so start off, and you can stay with whatever variation you can stay with this one if you like. So your left toes now inside the wheel, and pull on the bottom edge of the wheel. Try to get your leg up. Bring the right arm up. Lean a little bit to the right to keep your balance. Good. Now bring your right hand to the wheel, to the top edge of the wheel. Lift it up and slip your left arm inside of the wheel, holding the foot and the top edge of the wheel at the same time. That's the idea. Good idea. Have a wall beside you. That's always good. All right. And from here, if you want, you can lift your wheel up again. You're flexible. You try to get your head on the inside of the wheel. And you slowly reach your right hand over your head. Take hold of the foot and the wheel at the same time. And you bring your left arm out. Good. All right. Now we're going to do a little bit of core work. Okay, so working towards handstands. We did this before in your sun salutation, right? So we start off in plank and we start to roll the wheel towards us. So use your feet to roll your wheel all the way up, close as possible to the hands. And then you go back into your plank. See if you can do this about 3 times. Push the wheel, roll over your toes, and eventually your feet will land, both of feet will land on the wheel, and then push into your hands, and come back into plank. One more time. Your toes, and then go all the way up against your wrists almost, and then all the way back. Good. Drag the wheel towards you. Good, beautiful. Really nice. Try to get your wheel very close to your hands, as close as possible. Nice, everybody. Good. All right, and then after you've done that, rest. So another way to do the child's pose is to hook your feet on the inside of the wheel and sit your seat on the wheel and just push your wheel back with your seat. Breathe in, breathe out, soften everything, relax. Okay. All right, so now to come into handstand, the height of the wheel helps you a little bit to get maybe into handstand a little bit more easily. So you're going to step onto the wheel with one foot, push it close to your wrist as possible. Okay, so you can use both feet to get the wheel as close to your wrist as possible. Lift one leg up. Try to have your wheel as close as possible so that eventually you can lift your foot off the wheel. Okay. You can bend your legs as well. You don't have to keep your legs straight. When you bring your leg up, the leading leg, bend it. The more you bend your legs, the more compact the body is, the easier it is to balance. That's it. That's it. Bend your leg, Young, and get your bend your feet so that that's it. Good. Yeah, flex your feet. Flex your feet. There you go. You had it. Good. Nice. That's good, Emily. Your hands are slightly turned out. Your middle finger is facing forward. Okay, so make sure your hands are not like this. Because if your elbows bend, you lose strength. So keep your arms locked. Imagine you're trying to hold a newspaper underneath your arms. Okay, so you hug your arms inside. That's it. Okay. Good. Let's try it one more time. Georgia, ça va? Parfait. Okay. That's it. Bend your legs, your foot hanging towards your seat behind you. The easiest way to find a balance is with your legs a little bit bent, your feet flexed. With your feet, when you flex your feet, you engage all the muscles. They activate the muscles. Bend your knee a little bit more, Emily. Yeah, that's it. Push out to the base of the toes of the leg that's behind you. This up. Voila. Okay. This one takes a little bit of practice. Sometimes, but it's nice to try anyways. Okay, so just start with your wheel as close to your body as possible so you don't have to work so hard before and you lose all your energy. Okay, so you try to even just stay with your toes on the wheel and your heel up and just stay there. You don't have to lift your foot very high off the wheel. Just try to get so your hips are right over your shoulders, over your wrists. Okay. So you have to move your foot, your wheel right close as possible to you. So start with your wheel close to you so you don't have to waste a lot of energy just trying to get into that pose. Okay, that's it. That's the idea. Kyung, you're a little bit close to the wall so that if you do put your foot on the wall, like it might push you back off. So make sure you give yourself enough distance so that that doesn't happen, okay? Good, c'est ça, Georgia. Oui, c'est ça. Voilà. Tracez à travers les monts des orteils. Comme on fait les exercices, quand on pousse les monts des orteils, on monte. C'est la même idée. Donc, il faut pousser à travers le mont des orteils pour activer tous les muscles. Okay? C'est ça. Okay, we're going to try another one now. So this one, you can do against the wall. If you like, you bring your wheel right against the wall. You bring your head on the wheel. You find your balance like this. You push into your hands and try to lift up. If you find that you're too close to the wall, you put maybe a block in front of the wall in front of the wheel. Okay, so there's a block in between the wall and the wheel, and then you have a little bit more room. So then when your legs come up and if you bring your feet to the wall, it won't push you back down. Okay. C'est dans les mains. C'est ça. Voilà. Voilà. Une autre manière d'entrer, Georgia, c'est d'avoir les pieds écartés. Passer dans les mains. Pour lever les hanches le plus que possible. Pousser les mains, retenir le souffle, puis essayer de un petit saut pour arriver. Et c'est une autre manière, parce que c'est ça. Exactement. Oui, oui, exactement. C'est beau. That's a beautiful Kyung. Thank you for the suggestion. I was looking at you, it's like, oh, let's try this. Ça marche? C'est bon. Oui. Beautiful line, Kyung. Beautiful, Emily. Push up to the base of the toes, Emily. Push, it's almost like a point flex. So you're pushing through the base of the toe. There you go, okay? And push, anchor your toes up still. Like you're trying to stand on your ceiling on the base of your toes. That's it. Okay? Good. Beautiful. So you have to try different things. Sometimes one entry doesn't work so well, so you just try something else that works. Okay? That's nice. All right, so we're going to leave that one. Headstand. So this one is kind of working towards no hands. This one's a little bit try to find the balance. So just do it. So what you want to have is like a wheel close to the chest. You bring your head down just in front of the wheel. And then you have a few different options. Okay, so you bring your knees, you bring your hands out, you bring your knees on top of the wheel. You cross your ankles. You have to have as much of the weight on the head as possible, because if you have most of the weight on your knees, that's what moves the wheel, and then you won't be able to find the balance. Try to bring one hand up at a time. Eventually, hold the breath, really squeeze your heels in towards your seat. Try to get both hands up off the wheel. So again, you have to have your wheel very close to your body so that your thighs are almost squeezing against the body so that you are being more weight. Okay, so try that one. A little bit Just keep on trying to, like, bounce off one finger then the other, just peel your fingers off one at a time. So just like Dharma teaches us, right? You start off with all the fingers on the ground, you eventually lift one finger at a time until you're just on the very tip of the index finger. And then you see if you can lift one hand first. There you go. And then the other. Croisez les chevilles. Puis essayez de presser les talons contre le siège. C'est comme une tuck. Alors, au lieu de faire comme les jambes sont allongées comme ça, essayez de presser les talons contre le siège. Elle est tout près du corps. C'est plus facile de maintenir l'équilibre. Okay, so try to get your thighs right close to your chest. Bring the wheel very close. Emily, I think your wheel has to come in closer. Bring your hands out a little bit more, Kyung, to the side. So like you're doing like a downward facing dog almost. That's it. Crossing your ankles helps to cross your ankles and really squeeze your root muscles. That's it. Good. Remember, try to get all the weight. Try to come right on top of the head. Concentrate all your attention on the head. There you go. That's it. This one's a challenge to hold for a long time. If you can get your hands off the ground, you're doing pretty good. Okay. Yeah, good. And then break the pose. Nice. All right. Okay, so from here, one last one, forearm balance. So there's a few different ways to enter it. You can do this against the wall again if you like. You can place the wheel against the wall and then anchor down through the arms. The thumbs on the front of the wheel, the other fingers on the inside of the wheel. Okay, so you can come up. And then you might be able to bring your foot to the wheel depending on your flexibility. Sometimes you can take your other foot onto the wheel. There's the wheel. I think I'm on the couch. Oh, wait, there we go. And you want, once the feet are on the wheel, you have to push the wheel away from the wheel bits. Okay, if you want to get your feet in front of the wheel, this is you working towards your scorpion. And then you pull the wheel towards your head again, and eventually your toes, your feet, and your head meets. Okay, that's the way you get into the scorpion. Now that's one way. It's a little bit, sometimes a little bit difficult to find the feet on the wheel. So this is another way of entering it. You come with your wheel behind your back. You bring your hands onto the wheel like we did before. So you just roll back all the way until your elbows on the ground. And then you lift your back up off the wheel. Okay, and then you bring one foot on the wheel and you push the wheel away further. And once you have one foot on the wheel, you keep pressing the wheel away with your foot. You can bring your foot on the wheel. Okay, so you give that a try. I would try the one I just showed first. It's a little bit easier to get in because sometimes when your feet are trying to find a wheel from the forward one, like they overshoot. They go beyond the wheel. So. Ah, c'est beau, Georgia. Oui, c'est ça. Voilà. Exactement. Continue de pousser c'est ça. Continue de pousser la roue en avant pour que tu puisses mettre les orteils en avant sur le fond de la roue. Pour que tu puisses, éventuellement, tu peux connecter le fond aux orteils. C'est ça. That's it, Emily. Good. Now try to get there you go. Yeah, so you want to have your foot flat on the wheel first, otherwise you might lose your balance, okay? So once your foot's on the wheel, try to have your foot flat on the wheel first, okay, the whole foot, and then push the wheel away so that you don't lose your balance. Okay, that's it. Give it one more try. That's it, Kyung. Good. There you go. That's it. Good. Now, Kyung, look towards the wheel, bring your head forward to look at the wheel and push the wheel away. As you're trying to push the wheel, push the wheel into the block towards the wall and try to get your foot flat on the wheel. Yeah. Good. It's because the wheel is like where it is, like there's not much space, but that's what you're trying to do. Okay, so you just when you have the foot on the wheel, you try to push it away so you can get your foot flat on the wheel, and then you'll be able to stay more steadily on the wheel. All right. Okay, so that I think we're time for cool down. So let's come into Tadasana now. You bring your feet on top of the wheel, both feet, the soles of the feet together. And then cup your hands over your toes, your index fingers together. And then from here, you can just push your wheel away to get a little bit of elongation in the spine. You try to push your wheel away with your feet, and you can bring your forehead onto the wheel, perhaps depending on flexibility. You press your forearms against the shins, allow the knees to open up. So if you're looking from above, it looks like a star, a 6-pointed star. Your elbows and your knees form the side points, your index fingers and your base of the spine are the bottom, top, and bottom points. Keep on pushing the wheel forward with your feet so the spine lengthens. Keep your seat anchored down. Now the pose. Paschimottanasana. So your legs are straight now, your heels on the wheel. You can take hold of the heels only, or you can reach all the way to the front end of the wheel with your hands and pull yourself right against your legs. Your belly on your thighs, your chest moving beyond the knees. Keep your attention to the base of the spine, elongate the spine from the base of the spine right up to the crown. And release. Bring your hands behind your back. Paschimottanasana. Lift your hips up, point the toes. Try not to sink through your hips. Your hips should be the same line as your heels. Try to get your chest up higher than the shoulders. Stretch to find the body from the toes all the way to the crown. Allow the head to go back. Lower your seat down again. Now from here, bring your legs inside the wheel and slide it right up. Just behind, in front of the knees, so somewhere between your seat and your knees. Left hand on top of the wheel, the right hand behind the back, and then inhale, lift through the chest, exhale. Use the left hand again to push the wheel, so you're trying to push the wheel behind you. Now, if you want, you can take your right hand behind your back. You can use your left hand, thread it inside the wheel, and see if you can bring your right hand to the edge of the wheel. You might grab the inside edge of the wheel, be more flexible, more rotation, more flexibility. You might be able to bring your hand all the way to the far end of the wheel. So you're holding it from the inside edge. Just not important. It's just an option here. And you push your right arm into the lower back. Stay lifted. Push against the wheel with your left hand, turn more to the right. And release. Go to the other side now. Left hand behind the back, right hand on the front edge of the wheel, and you push your wheel further behind you. Or again, you take your left hand behind the back. You can use your right hand to see if you can pull the hand so that it can hold the edge of the wheel, either the front, the wheel, the edge that's closest to you, or you can scoot your hand all the way inside the wheel and the fingers eventually go on the outside edge of the wheel. Keep your back straight. Use your right arm to keep pushing your wheel further back. Your thighs will sort of roll towards the right. You keep your seat down. Break the pose. And from here, Shavasana. And line your back if you want. You can place the wheel on top of your body, either resting so centered, sort of like with your belly and your pelvis sort of inside of the wheel, or you can just bring your wheel and just allow your head to rest on the inside of the wheel so you're looking at the top edge of the wheel, whatever you like. And then just relax. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, imagine you fainted. Let go of all efforts, let go of all tension. The best taking place. All the benefits coming in. Feel them streaming in like great beams of energy pouring into the skin. And try to be receptive physically by surrendering all effort and all tension, all resistance, all tightness that prevents that entry of all those benefits. Mentally surrender. Be grateful for all that's come in. You are deserving of it because of the efforts that you put in yourself to offer up the practice to others. So welcome it in, knowing that's coming from others who are doing the same thing as you are. Acknowledge them, be grateful to them for their gifts. And spiritually be receptive for is a knowledge that helps ultimately to remove the pain and suffering, because ignorance is the root cause of pain and suffering. So all the knowledge that we gain through our experiences that we receive from our teachers, from our gurus, all helps us to find our way to break those patterns that cause pain and suffering. Offer up all your actions, thoughts, and words, but remember that they should be driven by love and compassion, so that you're putting out the best to all beings. When you get into that habit, all the good that you put out there comes back to you, and you feel even more motivated to continue. And others see you and they follow suit. Oh, it's self-realization. Even when we attain self-realization, our work is not done. We have to continue to try to lead others to the same place. Remember that we're all the same. We all possess an equal portion of God within. Because some of us come into existence at different times, at later times. So it might take a while for us to gain the knowledge, but have compassion for those those beings, we were there too at one point. Be grateful for all the forms that are all divine manifestations of God. Be grateful to experience all of these different forms that help us to cultivate compassion and unconditional love towards all beings. Revere them and love them and respect them. When you see God in each and every form, it becomes unimaginable to want to do harm to them. So now let's take that intention out into our day-to-day lives and all our interactions. Continue to serve through your positive and loving actions, thoughts, and words. Prepare now to sit. Come back to a seated position in a way that is gentle, that is quiet, mindful. Close with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within and send out to all beings everywhere. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming. Merci d'être venu. Ça me fait grand plaisir et honneur. Gives me great honor and pleasure. Hope to see you next time. Beautiful practice, everybody. Thank you so much for your efforts. And I have the recording, so I'll send it out to you in case you want to do the practice again at some point on your own. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can hang around and ask them.
Thank you for doing this. It was really cool with the Dharma Yoga Wheel. It was like 10 times harder, but I've had it for like many years, but other than back bends, I never use it. So it was really fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyung, for coming. Merci.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bonne nuit, Georgia. It's like in Europe, so she's like, it's like 9 o'clock at night there. So merci.
Merci. Merci pour ton service. Merci. Au revoir.
Well, where are you, Kyung? Are you in New York? Or are you in South Africa? Or where are you?
Yeah, I'm Central Africa.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock, same time as Paris.
Okay. Well, thank you for staying. It's so wow. It's amazing.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Hope to see you again. Bye, everybody.